Mark the Greatest. On today's video, I want to talk about rejection is a part of life. I want to talk about this because so many people get rejected from things, from relationships to opportunities to just about everything. But the one thing that rejection can teach you, one of the things that rejection can teach you is learn how to bounce back in your life. Learn how to bounce back. I think that's one of the lessons of rejection is learning how to bounce back through adversity. Because if you don't learn how to handle rejection, you'll never get to where you want to be in life. So many people start businesses, but 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, the first business that they start up, it usually doesn't work like the way they want to. I'd say even on my first video, what I initially started making videos on, I don't currently do now. I literally had to go through before I really started making the content that I wanted. I went from news articles to hair videos, and now I'm doing motivational videos. In fact, I did videos on autism and things like that. So sometimes in life, it takes a little bit of rejection for you to get to where you want to be in life. No situation in life is ever going to be just perfect. No situation in life is ever just going to be, okay, everything is put together. You know, sometimes in life you have to go through some upsets and some failures in order to get to where you want to be in life. If you think about J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, she wrote so many books and she failed her way to the top. Like, that's what it took for her in order for her to be a success. Henry Henry Hi Henry Guido. What's up, Henry Guido? But today I'm talking about rejection and how sometimes you have to get rejected a few times in order to get to where you want to be. Davi Batu. Hi, Davi. Hi, Davi. I'm talking about rejection and how that helps you to get to where you want to be. What is a good reason? What is a good reason to miss work? A good reason? I mean, if you're sick, death of a loved one, I think that's a good reason to miss work. Um, yeah, I think those are good reasons. Me personally, I don't have much work experience, but I can really say that, maybe you know, if you have a sick day, you have a terminal illness or whatever, maybe that's a good reason. What are you doing? Zaki says. I'm making a video and I'm talking about rejection and how rejection is a part of life, and rejection is something that we're eventually all going to go through. We might fail a class. We might be rejected from a business opportunity. We might, it's so many things in life that we're going to be rejected from, like even relationships. But those rejections eventually lead up to the thing that we want a lot of times if we choose to keep going. And I think that if you let rejection tear you down, then you're not gonna get to where you want to be, guaranteed. If you give up now, you're not gonna you're not ever gonna get to where you want to be if you give up. So I'm here to tell y'all that sometimes it's worth keep like it's helpful if you keep going in life. Like whether it's relationships, whether it's your that business opportunity you've always wanted. Sometimes like if you keep going, you'll eventually get to where you want to be. And it takes, and I'm going to say it again, it takes a lot of rejections in order for you to get to where you want to be in life. It takes a lot of rejections, a lot of no's, a lot of door slams, a lot of people not watching you, a lot of videos that don't get any views. Like, that's what it takes for someone to get very successful. Like when I'm gonna tell y'all a story, y'all, and I don't mean to be talking about myself all on this channel and all, but I want to tell y'all this story. I probably made 400 videos before I got my first 10,000 views. Let me say that again. I made 400 videos before I got my first 10,000 views on a video. So I'm here to tell you guys that sometimes rejection, sometimes the videos that don't get views, like that work is not in vain if you keep going. But a lot of people would have stopped, because they didn't see the result right away, or because they didn't get the views like they wanted right away. Like they would have stopped. A lot of people would a lot of people would stop if things are not going their way. But the thing about things not going your way is that you just have to keep going, you know? You can't stop because, you're running up against a lot of failure. And see, when you face failure, that's actually growth. Let me say that again. I want y'all to get this. When you face failure, you're actually facing growth. So if you get frustrated about something, right? If you get stuck on something, that's growth. Think about it. Like, you don't grow from your successes. A lot of times, you don't grow from your wins. You grow through frustrations. You grow through hard times. That's where growth happens. You grow through rejection. That's where growth happens. And that's how you build. And basically, when you face rejection, you're building that muscle strong. You're building a mental muscle, right? Like, for an example, you go out and cold approach a guy or girl that you like, right? You're building that muscle. You're like, first of all, when that person says yes or no, right? You're building that muscle against whatever the person's response is going to be, especially if the person says no. You're building a mental muscle. And that's what rejection is doing. When you face rejection, you're building a mental muscle. And that's just how it is when you face rejection. You're building a muscle, and the more you go through it, the better you get. Now, a lot of people would give up and get discouraged with through rejection, but you just have to keep going. Like, especially if it's a business or partner that you want, you have to keep going. And I'm not saying like pursue the same person over and over. Now, with a business opportunity, maybe that's different. You may have the same goal, but you might have to go about it in a different approach. But like if it's like that girl that you want, that guy that you want, that's like your type. You're looking at the body and you're like, ooh, I like the abs. Ooh, I like the chest, and I like the behind. I'm gonna go after that. So like when you go after what you want, you're gonna be happy. You're gonna feel a lot more fulfilled because it's like one day it's like you're gonna get it. If you keep going, you're gonna get it one day. But the idea to rejection is to keep going. Now, sometimes you need to stop, and that's understandable. But like, there's other times where it's like you need to keep going. You can't stop. Like, it's no going back. It's like once you do it, there's no going back. Because going back means that you never play, and you don't want to be on the sidelines and not playing. You're not losing, but you're not winning either when you're on the sidelines. So I'm just here to tell y'all, man, y'all gotta learn that rejection is a part of life. Hey, May Rose, what's up? I'm talking about rejection and how rejection can make a person stronger. And how when you face rejection, you're basically building a mental muscle and you're strengthening a mental muscle and you're adjusting your mind to take the no's in life. You're adjusting your mind to not be phased when somebody says no. Like that's what rejection is really all about. Is building a mental muscle. And this can apply to life in any part of life, business, relationships, um, just any part of life, friendships, even any part of life. Like when you don't get what you want, you keep going, you don't stop. You just have to have, like, if you really want something, you'll go get it. And I truly believe if a person wants something, they'll go get it. Like if they really wanted it, they really wanted it from the heart and soul of their body, they'll go get it. It's almost like putting a fire near your hand. Your hand is going to move away from the fire because you're going to feel the fire burn. It's just like that. Because if you put your hand there and you didn't feel anything by the fire, your hand would most likely just stay there. You know, you I mean, a lot of people would still raise their hand, but like if you didn't feel anything, a lot of people would just be in the fire and stand there. But you feel something when you put your hand or your body near a fire. So your natural instinct, your natural response is to get away from it. You know what I mean? And you know, going after what you want in life is just like that. It's going to be a natural response. You don't have to write it down. You don't have to nobody has to tell you about it. It's just going to be instinct. Like, oh, okay, I want this. I'm going after it. That's just how it is. Like, when you genuinely want something, you're going to go after it. I know y'all can't see my face right now. I'm kind of in the dark with my light glowing. But I'm just here to tell y'all that, that's what rejection is all about. And I think this is something that we gotta learn. And I think some of y'all have already learned how to face rejection. But there have just been a lot of times in my life where there's one time in my life where I really felt down about like being rejected from, something that I really wanted. But sometimes rejection is a redirection to something better. Let me say that again. Rejection is a redirection to something better. So it's like sometimes you may be rejected from something good, but it may be leading you to something like fantastic, great, something that you've always like desired. Like that's what it's really all about. Like that's what rejection is really all about. And it's just redirection, man. And it's something that I don't think people should really take personally, you know? Like if you're rejected from something, I mean, you move on. You don't just sit there and over obsess and stuff. Like you just move on, man. Honestly. That's just how it is when you face rejection. You just move on. In fact, let me turn this light on, y'all. turn this light on, but like when you face rejection, man, you just gotta move on. And it sucks, yes. It sucks to not be where you want to be and not have what you want to have, but you work toward it, and then eventually you'll get it one day. Or you might learn a lesson and say, okay, I didn't get this for this reason. I accept it. Sometimes you have to accept things for what they are. And it's like other times it's like, okay, I really want it though, so I'm gonna go after it. And then maybe even after you get it, you may be like, I don't want this thing anymore. I thought it's not as good as I thought it was gonna be. So I'm just here to tell y'all that sometimes rejection is a good thing and it's a part of life. That's really what I wanted to say today about rejection and how it impacts your life you know but I want to thank everybody for coming on to the chat, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Have a great day, everybody. Rejection is a part of life. Keep going, keep your head up, and maybe eventually you'll find what you want. And have a great day, everybody. Mark the greatest.